Hi, I'm Justin. I'm a DE alum, and I'll be playing Amalik, a human warlock of the Great Old One.
Hello, my name is Jacob Lorenz, and I'm a reporter at the Daily Egyptian. I'm a senior studying psychology and journalism, and in this campaign I'm playing Daleth Hatafarai, a wood elf cleric.
Hi, I'm Raina. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Daily Egyptian. I'm playing Salazana, and she is a forest gnome rogue.
Hi, I'm Kirsten. I am the business office manager at the Daily Egyptian. I'm a senior equine science major, and I play Beryl Valnamara, a drow paladin, and I play Bipnodin, a gnome.
Hi, I'm Xavier. I'm a math education major here at SIU and the tech support manager at the Daily Egyptian. I'm going to be the DM for D&DE, and while the rest of the players are introducing the characters they're going to play, I'm going to talk about the world that we are going to be playing in, Kithria.
My name is Amalik. I was born and raised on the continent of Mikriran. Early on, my mother disappeared, and a few years later, my father was captured by the Biriks. The bastards. My village raised me until I was around 15, when I was captured on one of their raids and forced into slavery. They brought me to Gardaseth, where I was held until a band of pirates bought me. I quickly earned the respect of my owners, who would go on to teach me the ways of the ocean and navigation, eventually trusting me to take over the long night watch. Turns out, I have a knack for noticing holes that others might overlook, which helped me when learning how to hold my own in combat. I owe my prolonged survival to these pirates, and missed the nights at sea. But it came time to leave the crew on good terms, and was told to call upon them if ever needed. After 2.5 years of being with a rowdy family, being on my own again was unnerving. I stayed in Fyosaren for a time before joining with the paladin, Damodar. He became a close friend, until I was slain clearing out troglodytes. In those moments, I felt something reach out to me, and awoke again with the only change being my left eye was now completely flesh colors. My dear friend, believing I was cursed, disowned our friendship, and is still hunting me down, to end my stain upon this land. While recuperating in a nearby town, I had another run-in with a group of Biriks, which resulted in me being enslaved once again. I have sat in slavery since, my anger towards this group of people steadily rising, as I resolve myself to work towards running the rivers red and making the hills ring with the screams of this damned race.
So one of the more special features of the campaign that's a little more unique is that elves are hermaphrodites, both male and female, along with goblinoids, which they come from a different kind of world, just usually called across the sea.
Hi, I'm Daleth Hatafarai, but you can call me Daleth. I'm 23 human years old, and I've lived in the fishing village of Fyosaren for as long as I can remember. When I was a boy, I would help my father on the docks, but I always seemed to break something. Eventually, the workers told me to not bring me around anymore, or it'd be his job. I started going to the temple, and I became infatuated with the elvish priests. So I became an acolyte myself. I'm technically too old to be an acolyte, but the priests still keep me around. The high priests always tell me to quit helping those who aren't elves. Only elves deserve our attention. One morning, I heard a fight coming from the alleyway next to my window. 2 dwarves were being threatened by a cap with black eyes and an Icrith holding a dagger. I fell right onto the cap and the Icrith, knocking them to the ground and knocking me out. All I remember was waking up to guards dragging me away. I tried explaining it was all a misunderstanding, and I was part of the temple, but no one seemed to listen to me.
For some unknown amount of time, the elves had a vast empire that covered 2 out of the 4 continents in the world, but it fell some other unknown amount of time ago, largely in part due to dragons that mysteriously just disappeared about 1,000 years ago after wiping out just about every bit of civilization they could, reducing everything to rubble, which later gave rise to the human kingdoms that replaced the giant, elven, and Yuan-Ti Empire that came before.
I'm Salazana. I'm from Gardaseth, which is located in Mikron. I grew up in a small house with my mom and 5 siblings. My dad disappeared when I was young. No one knows what happened. He's probably dead in a ditch somewhere. I don't know. I don't really care. Anyway, I had an average childhood, but in my teen years, I began stealing and found I was pretty good at it. I did get locked up rather regularly, but I was never convicted and never sentenced. I eventually left Gardaseth and was hired by the Kiamari Assassins Guild, one of the largest and most feared assassins guilds in Kithria. I recently completed my first contract for them, and it was pretty easy. I dropped down from the ceiling and I slit his throat. I escaped unseen, but while I was leaving the city, I was nabbed by a group of slavers.
In more recent history, the Ikrith, Dark Elves basically, ascended from deep within the earth about 100 years ago, driving the Byrrcs, dwarves from the north, out of their ancestral homes and out into the world, causing the formation of the Byrrc Slavers Guild as they had to take on undesirable tasks to make a living. And the Byrrc Slavers Guild then plays an important part at the beginning of the campaign.
Hello, my name is Bear Laval Namara, and I am 29 years old. I live my life in service of Celeste Inferno. I have 11 siblings, 7 older, 3 younger, and my twin, Bear Laval Nuath. I was born in the dwarven stronghold of Fithmar. Soon after the youngest child was born, one of our parents was sold into slavery, and the other disappeared mysteriously. Our home was no longer safe after that, so we were raised by one of their siblings who took us along on their wandering travels. We no longer had a true home after that. One day I happened upon a priest of the New Way, and I saw sense and found purpose in his teachings. My longing to learn more about the New Way took me away from my family. I've spent this past 7 years learning all that I can about the New Way and passing along its teachings when I have the opportunity. 4 years ago, I saved the gnome Bimnoddenpingun from a small, sickly, spiky creature. She's been following me ever since. I learned Gnomish after I realized she wasn't going to leave. I still don't know for sure if she stays because she feels indebted to me, or if she's studying me for some nefarious purposes. I don't really care at this point. A bit more recently, I befriended another adventurer named Nora Melorn, and became very close with her and her tribe. However, I was wrongly accused of murdering her husband after finding him bleeding out on the floor and trying to save him. I was sold into slavery for this crime I did not commit.
About 20 years ago, there was a war in Baruch, where the campaign takes place, that resulted in 3 kingdoms being united under one rule. During that war, there was a caravan that disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and after that event, the birth of the touched, tieflings, increased from 1 in a million births to about 1 in 1,000 human births.
Hey, I'm Bin Laden. How's your hands with 62?
And so our heroes sit in slavery, waiting to be sold as they pass through the Korthus Mountains into the kingdom of Baruch, a kingdom of peace and prosperity from the outside, and a kingdom of division and turmoil within.